Extinction is a pretty big issue that our world currently faces. We get that. But when it comes to these extinct animals, we have to admit, we're kind of glad we don't have to face them. From the wild windo to the horrific hydra, these are the 15 beasts you're glad aren't real. Let's start off with number 15, the beast of Gevaudan. This hungry wolf tale is terrifying because it almost sounds very real. During the 1760s, the province of Gevaudan in France lost over 100 people to brutal animal attacks. Every victim was linked to the same beast, a massive reddish wolf that could reportedly tear human heads from their shoulders. What makes this even more disturbing is that King Louis XV personally got involved. He sent his royal guards into the region to take the creature down. That shows how serious the situation had become, and makes you wonder if there really was a werewolf stalking the French countryside. In 1767, the nightmare seemed to end when a hunter named Jean Chastel shot a giant wolf. He definitely killed something big, but whether it was the same creature is still debated. No one knows for sure if the nightmare ended or if the real beast of Gevaudan still roams, watching from the shadows, just waiting to strike again very badly. Number 14, El Silbon. El Silbon is a super-chilling tale from Venezuela and Colombia, centered around a skeletal figure who carries a sack of bones and emits a disturbing whistle. That's bad enough, but it gets worse. He wasn't always like this. Once he was human, but after murdering his own father, he was cursed into this horrific form. The bones in his sack, they're his father's remains, and he's always looking to add more. El Silbon targets immoral people, especially those who live recklessly, attacking them in their weakest moments. Then he crushes them, breaks them down, and adds their bones to the bag. In some legends, he drains the alcohol straight from a drunk's body, leaving them lifeless and empty. Even his whistle is a twisted trap. If it sounds far, he's right behind you. If it's close, you've got a bit of time. Either way, hearing it means you're marked. In these regions, his name isn't a myth, it's a warning. Number 13, the Snallygaster. If you're in Maryland and hear the heavy beat of big wings overhead, don't hang around. You're probably moments away from being devoured by the Snallygaster, a flying reptile that soars like a hawk and slashes with hooked talons. Its beak is made of metal for some reason. The name sounds ridiculous, sure, but Snallygaster comes from the German Schnellgeist, meaning fast spirit, which only makes the thing more unsettling. This grim legend first appeared in 1735, and like many creatures of folklore, the Snallygaster was used to frighten children into behaving. That said, it's more than just bedtime story material. Tales described a creature with a screech loud enough to rattle barns and strong enough to snatch livestock straight off the ground. The locals weren't laughing, some even claimed to see it. Whether it was a monster, a myth, or just early American nightmare fuel, we're honestly glad it's not around anymore to test the theory. Number 12, giant demon sloth. The mapping Guari might have fur and claws like plenty of other monsters, but it still manages to be downright disturbing. This 10-foot-tall monstrous creature has a single eye, backward-facing feet, and most bizarre of all, a giant mouth on its stomach. That's right, its belly opens wide and swallows anything in its path. If you cross paths with this crooked-footed monster, it's a one-way trip straight into its gut. Fortunately, you'll get a bit of warning. Mapping Guari lets out a loud roar before attacking, along with a stench so powerful it can paralyze. Some say it reeks worse than a rotting skunk. There's still debate over what this creature actually is. One theory says it's a human who was cursed and turned into a beast. Others believe it's a prehistoric predator that somehow never went extinct. We don't have the answer, and honestly, we're fine keeping it that way. Whatever the truth is, it's not something you want to meet. It's something to avoid. Number 11, Hivbo. Is it a goat, a man, a shape-shifting vampire? Well, according to ancient Mayan legends, The Hivbo is all of the above, and it's still feared across the Yucatan Peninsula. This sinister and scary-looking creature emerges at night to hunt livestock, leaving farmers with bloodless carcasses and no explanation. Its eyes glow red in the dark, and locals claim you can hear its hooves pounding across dirt roads just before it strikes. The name Hivbo combines Spanish and Yucatec Maya, which basically means sorcerer goat. Before becoming a beast, he was supposedly a man, maybe even a dark magician who used forbidden spells to gain power. Others believe he was cursed into becoming this twisted hybrid. Regardless of origin, the Hivbo isn't just folklore. It's treated like a real threat. People carry charms, chant prayers, and stay indoors at night. Because when the hooves echo through the dark and the chickens start screaming, everyone knows who's coming, and they don't wait around. Now let's move to number 10. Vodenoi. Is it normal to see elderly men with moss-green beards loitering in rivers? Well, definitely not. So if you catch sight of one, get out of there immediately. You've likely spotted a Vodenoi, the malevolent water spirit from Slavic mythology. This part human, part frog figure emerges from rivers to drag victims under and drown them. Once you're dead, he steals your soul and binds it forever as his servant. Locals try to stay on his good side by leaving out bread, butter, or tobacco as offerings, more out of fear than faith. The good news? This catfish-riding monster is likely a myth, mostly told to scare people, especially kids, into being careful around water. But the stories are relentless. A green-skinned creature, eyes like algae, and a voice like bubbling mud. Just in case he's more than a legend, maybe skip rivers with strange ripples or too many missing fishermen, because once he grabs you, you're not coming back. It's the total end. Number 9. Piasa bird. Well, despite the soft-sounding name, the Piasa bird is anything but gentle. This beast was said to haunt the cliffs above the Mississippi River and once battled Native American warriors long ago. Descriptions are chaotic. Body of a bird, tail like a snake, claws like a hawk, face like a man. And if that wasn't enough, it had antlers, too, like a creepy holiday chimera gone rogue. The legend traces back to the Illini people, whose chief, Uatoga, tricked the beast and took it down with a volley of poison arrows. European settlers later painted its likeness into a massive mural on the rocks, turning myth into icon. Some believe the Europeans altered the original story, or even made parts up entirely. Either way, the painting doesn't exist anymore, but the myth refuses to fade. Between the monstrous body parts and that twisted backstory, the Piasa bird lives on in nightmares, and probably somewhere along the river, waiting to fly again. Number 8. Nandy Bear. The Nandy Bear of East Africa doesn't look like a bear, or act like one. With a sloped back, muscular limbs, and a brutal appetite, it's more reminiscent of a massive hyena with a vendetta. Described as being covered in thick fur and standing upright, this thing doesn't just attack, it decapitates. The glowing eyes, hunched frame, and unrelenting aggression give it the vibe of something designed to terrify. People say it stalks livestock, but it's not shy about going after humans either. It walks on 2 legs, sometimes 4, and no matter the posture, it's bad news. Scientists have tried linking it to chalicotheres, prehistoric plant-eaters, but anyone who's heard the legends laughs at that. There's no way this creature's chewing on leaves. The Nandy Bear's more likely to rip through bone than nibble bark. Whether it's a long-lost predator or something we still haven't classified, one thing's certain. If it's real, staying in after dark sounds wise. Number 7. Popobawa. What's more terrifying than a man-sized bat? A man-bat that invades your home, paralyzes you, and then assaults you before vanishing into the night. That's the Popobawa, a winged menace from Tanzanian folklore that's been haunting villages for over 50 years. With glowing eyes, leathery wings, and an overwhelming stench, this monster's no misunderstood guardian. it's pure threat. Victims are warned not to stay silent. Speaking up is seen as the only way to protect yourself, because those who stay quiet are often targeted again. Some think Popobawa is a shapeshifter, others call it a curse, but one thing's clear. It terrifies communities into taking action. Villagers sleep in groups, hang protective charms, and conduct rituals to fight back. The beast is unpredictable, violent, and never truly gone. As long as fear remains, so does this. It doesn't stalk from caves or forests. It waits until you're inside your home, thinking you're safe. Number 6. Aztec water monster. If you see a hand rising from a river, well, don't reach for it. You might be face to face with the Ahuizotl, an Aztec creature with a hand-tipped tail that snatches people straight into the water. This brutal predator doesn't just drown its victims. It holds them in a monkey-like grip, claws digging deep as it drags them under. Some say it resembles a hairless dog with pointed ears, and just before the end, you might catch a glimpse of those sharp features as it tears into you. And it doesn't stop at death. The Ahuizotl devours your eyes, nails, and teeth, all of which it apparently needs for some dark ritual. That said, it's not killing for sport. It's working for Tlaloc, the Aztec rain god. Once it finishes you off, your soul is said to be sent to a paradise of endless water and greenery. So yes, you die, but you die serving a god. But let's be real. Will you be pleased? Number 5. The Tatzelwurm. Well, cat people, look away now. This isn't the story for you. You're about to meet a creature that's half feline, half serpent, and completely unnerving. We mean, just look at this strange mix. The Tatzelwurm is a snake-bodied beast with a hissing snarl, short front legs, and breath foul enough to alert you before you even see it. Like the Snallygaster, its name has German roots. Tatzelwurm roughly means pawed dragon. We've heard whispers about it since the Middle Ages, when it was said to feast on both livestock and humans. Its home? Could be a cavern or an open field, probably the former, but even a quiet meadow becomes creepy when this thing's lurking. No one really knows where it stays. But if it's anywhere, you'd better hope it's far from where you're standing. And honestly, I'm not going to argue with something that hisses like a snake and has claws like a lynx. That's a battle I'll gladly lose by walking the other way. Number 4. Balbalang. Graveyards are already unsettling, but they're even worse when the Balbalang shows up, a corpse-eating creature that also snacks on the living. If you're in the southern Philippines, you might want to avoid cemeteries after dark. The Balbalang is a bat-winged fiend that doesn't just fly around looking for trouble. It can leave its body behind entirely, attacking as a spirit while its physical form stays hidden. You could be sitting at home thinking you're safe, while this thing is miles away, sinking its teeth into you. Coconut pearls and iron are believed to offer protection, along with traditional prayers. But once it marks you, you're not safe in life or death. It keeps feeding even after you're buried. Some call it a vampire, others call it a ghost, but it's worse than both. You can't see it coming, and even if you somehow do, there's no guarantee you'll survive. Number 3. The Midgard Serpent. Did you know Loki fathered a giant world-wrapping serpent? And when I say giant, I mean planet-sized. That's the Midgard Serpent of Norse mythology, so massive it circles the globe entirely. Its real name is Jormungandr, born from Loki and the giantess Angerboda. Both were giants, so naturally their child ended up being the ultimate snake. According to legend, the serpent grips Earth in a deadly coil, biting its own tail. Why? Because it's part of the Ragnarok prophecy, where it'll eventually release its grip and unleash venom that wipes out humanity. And if you're thinking Thor will swoop in to stop it, don't hold your breath. The myth says not even he can overpower it. They fight, sure, but both end up dying. So yeah, if this thing were real, we wouldn't be sitting here talking. We'd be running out of time. Thankfully, Jormungandr lives only in myth, not circling above us in real life. What do you think about this beast? Well, let us know. Number 2. Mam Lambo. The South African creature known as Mam Lambo isn't just another lake monster. It's a glowing serpentine goddess with crocodile jaws and a hunger for brains. Nicknamed the Brain Sucker, she has the head of a reptile and the elongated body of a snake, shimmering in the water with a strange green glow. She's said to lurk beneath the surface of rivers, waiting for people to get too close before pulling them under and drowning them. Victims aren't left intact. Mam Lambo reportedly devours the face and skull, leaving only a hollow body behind. But the tale isn't all horror. Strangely, she's also been known to reward people. Some stories say she gives out large sums of money to chosen individuals. A monster and a giver? It's a strange twist in a terrifying legend. Still, most would rather keep their distance. When a creature offers wealth with one hand and death with the other, it's not worth flipping that coin. All right now, let's end this with Number 1. The Hopkinsville Goblins. Picture being home alone and suddenly hearing an eerie scratching outside your door. Then you glance at the window, and there they are. Yellow, glowing eyes staring in. That's exactly what happened to the Sutton and Taylor families in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, back in 1955, when a group of 3-foot-tall creatures showed up uninvited. They weren't cute or curious. These beings had oversized heads, wide-set eyes, elongated limbs, and talons. Safe to say, they weren't asking for sugar. What followed was an all-out firefight between the families and whatever these things were. The shootout sounded like something out of a B-grade monster flick, except it really happened, and more than one person backed up the story. So it's hard to just write it off. Some skeptics claimed it was just aggressive owls, while others believed the goblins came from another realm entirely. Real or not, that night in Hopkinsville left its mark, and the question still lingers. What exactly came knocking? If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you soon.